Good morning, my fellow humans. Today I'm going to talk about the freedoms that we have, but mainly the freedom to offend. Now that's going to sound strange. The freedom to offend, what is that all about? Well, I am in the United States. I was born in the United States, and we have freedom of expression. Every country don't have it, but we have it. We have freedom of speech and we have freedom of expression. And with that comes the other side of the coin is the freedom to offend. So when you have freedom of speech and we have freedom of expression, sometimes you will experience being offended because there are people out here who think differently from us and who see things from a different perspective. And some of us have been fed bad ideas as a child, and then when we grow up, sometimes we throw away those bad ideas and we learn something new. But in the process of growing up, we will become offended at times, and that's okay because sometimes I say something that may be a little offensive. I'm not trying to be a jerk. I don't want to be a jerk, but I have had some different experiences in life that may be different from yours. And sometimes you can say something that's kind of different and you don't mean to be offended, but it's just that we're a little bit different and we all need to learn and we have growing pains. So this is what I'm really talking about. There's this comedian, he's a stand-up comedian, and his name is Ricky Gervais. Ricky Gervais is an atheist. He's an outspoken atheist, and he is also very funny, and he is on Netflix right now. And if you want to see his stand-up comedy on Netflix, you can. If you don't want to see it, you don't have to. So Ricky Gervais is a comedian, like I said, and he offended some people. He did not offend me. I did not take offense to what he had to say, but there was a person who identified as trans, and this person said that Ricky Gervais, I gotta say his last name right, Ricky Gervais made some jokes about trans people, and the trans person took offense to that, and the trans person did not like what Ricky Gervais had to say. Now, to be fair, Ricky Gervais, before he did his stand-up act, he said that he was going to say some things that will sound wrong, but people are supposed to laugh because he's saying the wrong thing for the comedy effect, That's what Ricky Gervais said. So he said that he doesn't mean to offend. It's just that he's joking and his jokes are can be kind of rough. And Ricky Gervais said that he jokes about all different people, all different kinds of people. And Ricky Gervais, he didn't just talk about trans people. He also talked about, he also made a joke about someone farting at a baby's funeral. He also made a joke about fat people. He also made a joke about Chinese people. He also made jokes about his own mom. He talked about a variety of different things, not just the trans. And he also said that one of the reasons why he included jokes about trans was, he said, since he wants to talk about everybody, he wants to make the trans equal. So if he joke about them equally, then they will be considered equal because he's joking about the trans and lots of other things. He even joked about the Holocaust. Now, I was kind of like, because I would never joke about the Holocaust. The Holocaust, that was really sad. I will not joke about that at all. But somehow Ricky was able to joke about that and kind of get away with it. But it depends on who will be offended by that. Like I said, I would never joke about it. That was a very sad event. I wish it never happened. A lot of people died, and it was just terrible. I would never joke about it. But how far can we go with our freedom of speech? I decide for myself what I can and cannot joke about. Like I said, I don't want to be a jerk. I love freedom of speech. I love freedom of speech. I love freedom of expression, but I have to check myself and make sure I don't go too far to offend on purpose. I do not want to offend on purpose. And especially a child. Like if a child said that I hurt their feelings, I'm going to care. I do care about children. I care about children's feelings, especially my own children's feelings. I'm going to sit down with them and see if I can work it out with them, because I don't want to offend. I definitely do not want to offend a child. But with that being said, I still like comedy. I like stand-up comedians. I like Dave Chappelle. I like Eddie Murphy. I like Cat Williams. I like Chris Rock. You know, those guys. I think they're funny. If they have offended you, you have the right to be offended. But here's my main fear. I don't want cancel culture to go too far and cancel out these comedians, because we need a laugh. We need a giggle sometimes. We need humor in our life. I need laughter in my life, because sometimes life is hard. Sometimes life is very hard, and sometimes I want to listen to a funny person. I like jokes. You know, I really do. Sometimes I'm sensitive, but I'm working on not being overly sensitive, because I don't want to ban comedians, and I don't want to ban humor. I don't want to ban jokes, even jokes that I don't like. I don't want to ban them, because there are some jokes that I like that other people don't like, and I don't want those jokes being banned. So, but I'm going to touch a little bit on the freedom of expression. And I look at that as, you know, the freedom of expression. Some American citizens, I never did this, and I don't plan on ever doing this, but some people do burn the American flag. They take the American flag and set the flag on fire. Now, yes, I was offended when I first saw that. How dare an American citizen burn the American flag? Yes, I was offended, but that person had the right to burn the American flag, and nobody should hurt them or kill them for burning the American flag, even though I would never do it. I don't think I would ever do it. Another example of freedom of expression is that I am wearing inverted cross earrings, and some people could take offense to my earrings. This is the inverted cross earrings. Now, that could be offensive to some people, but I have a right to wear these earrings. I'm wearing these earrings in the privacy of my house, but I'm also on YouTube, but I have a right to wear these earrings, and I did go to the store with these earrings, and nobody got upset about my earrings. I don't think anybody noticed, but I am wearing the inverted cross. My shirt could be offended. You see this little star right here? Yeah, that could be offensive, you know. But I am a 40-year-old woman. I'm almost 40, and I have a right to wear the shirt. It could offend somebody, but I do have a right to wear the shirt. I'm not hurting anybody. My bracelets, this could be offensive. You know, some people could be offended by my bracelets. Some people can be offended by my black fingernail polish. But the bottom line is, I'm not hurting anybody. I'm not killing anybody. Yes, what I'm wearing could be offensive, but I'm not hurting or killing anybody. That's what really, really matters to me. So I want people to have the freedom of expression, because I want it. And if I try to take away somebody else's freedom of expression, then other people can try to take away my freedom of expression. And I also don't want anybody to take away my freedom of speech. So therefore, I need to make sure that I don't take away somebody else's freedom of speech. Now, here's something I read in a book, and I completely agree with this. The freedom of others should be respected, including the freedom to offend. Yes, I agree with that wholeheartedly. So when somebody says something that I disagree with, I need to calm myself down and take a breath and just breathe in and out and just remember that I shouldn't stop that person from expressing themselves. I should not stop that person from saying what they want to say. Because if I do, or if a group of people who have enough power to stop another person's freedom of speech, then that can backfire on us. And then what ends up happening is a lot of speech being canceled. And that could lead to tyranny. And I don't want that here. I don't want that here. Not in the United States. I don't want it. So Ricky Gervais, yes, he did offend some people, and he did give a warning before his stand-up comedy. But there are some people who want to cancel him completely. And some people think that he should not be allowed to speak again in public. Some people think that he should not be allowed to have a job, and they have every right to think that, but they don't have the right to take his life away. You know, people say things that we don't like, but we don't have a right to go out and kill them. So here's something else that I want to mention. Not many, but like I think about 7 years ago, a couple of years ago, in France, a very nice country in Europe, they had a news reporter, and he drew a picture of the Prophet Muhammad. Now, within the Muslim religion, within their religion, they are taught that nobody should draw a picture of the Prophet Muhammad. But this news reporter did, and it was meant for a comedy. And this news reporter, he was a European man in France, and he was just having a good time, making a joke with it, and he was not a part of the Muslim religion, and he was not in a Muslim country. He was in a free country. So many of you know the story. Some radical Islamic people came into his place of work and shot him to death and 12 other people. They were killed over this picture of Muhammad. Now, I have drawn pictures of Muhammad twice because I am naturally rebellious, and it's just extremely unreasonable to kill somebody outside of the Islamic religion just because he or she drew a picture of Muhammad, you know. And I think I'm going to draw a picture of Muhammad today. And I'm in the United States. Nobody's going to kill me. But if someone drew a picture of the Prophet Muhammad in inside of an Islamic country, like if you do it in Pakistan or Iraq or Kuwait or Saudi Arabia, yeah, that person will definitely be put to death or go to jail over drawing a picture of the Prophet Muhammad. And that's an extreme case of tyranny. And I don't want that to happen over here in the United States. That man who drew the picture of Muhammad, he did not deserve to die. And the 12 other people did not deserve to die. That's extreme behavior. That is extremism. It's bad. So, like I said, what offends you might not offend me. I'm not offended by the Prophet Muhammad. I'm not offended by somebody drawing a picture of the Prophet Muhammad because I was not raised in the Islamic religion. And if I had been raised in the Islamic religion, I would have found my way out of that religion probably by the age of 34 because I don't like religion. I was raised religious, but I don't like religion because I find it very oppressive. And I feel as though my religion pushed me down and stunted my growth. So I do not like religion. I do not like religion. And I'm glad that I have the freedom of speech to say that. I have the freedom of speech to say that I don't believe that the Bible was written by God. The Bible is not the word of God. The Bible was written by man. Man wrote the Bible. So I have the freedom to say that, and I'm glad I can say that. And I can say the same thing for the Quran, the Bible that the Muslims use. Their book was completely made up. It had nothing to do with God. It had nothing to do with anything divine. That's just the work of human. I could just say that. I could just say the same thing about the Catholic Bible. People made it up. People wrote it down. It had nothing to do with God. So I'm glad that I have the right to say that. Now, in other countries, I won't have the right to say that. But here in the United States, I have that right. And I don't want anybody to take that right away from me. So here's another point I want to make. If you don't like comedians, don't listen to them. Don't go to their shows. Don't watch the comedian on Netflix. If the comedian offends you, all you have to do is walk away. That's good. All you have to do is walk away. You don't need to cancel the comedian. Just walk away from the comedian. And yeah, don't just cancel a person who thinks differently from you and send them out into outer darkness where there's weeping and gnashing of teeth, and you cancel them and they're not allowed to speak and appear never again. Yeah, we don't need to do that. Now, remember Kramer from Steinfeld? He was trying to do some comedy. And notice I'm saying trying to, but yeah, he was trying to do some comedy. And some years back, this is a couple of years ago. I think this happened around 2016. He made a big mistake. He was at the Laugh Factory, this place called the Laugh Factory. I think it's located in New York or something. But anyways, Kramer from Steinfeld, he's at the Laugh Factory. And there's two people in the audience. They're black, and they tell Kramer, they tell him that he's not funny. So two black people in the audience are telling Kramer that he's not funny, and they're heckling at him, whatever they're doing. And Kramer loses his shit. He just loses his mind, and he goes on this angry, racist rant. And he says, 50 years ago, I could have done something to you. And he says racist things about black people being lynched. And he says the N-word. And people were like, oh, they grasped. And some people got up and walked away, But anyways, Kramer ruined his own reputation. He messed up his own career. Now, I don't need to get, mad at Kramer and try to cancel him. I don't have to try to do anything to him. He messed up himself. He hung himself out to dry. He offended so many different people that I don't think anybody's going to ever come to any of his stand-up acts again. He's probably not even doing comedy anymore. Like, he really messed up his career that bad that he messed up himself. So people don't need to cancel him. It's just that people don't want to listen to him anymore. People don't want to hear what he has to say. He has to suffer his own consequence. So if you want to go out in the world, if you want to go out in public and be a jerk, and go out and be a dick, well, you messed up your own reputation. You just messed yourself up. Now nobody wants to be around you because you're going out in the world acting like a crazy jerk. Why do that to yourself? You see? So there's a difference between consequences and being canceled. Kramer had to deal with his own consequences. And If you don't believe me, this story is on TMZ. Go to TMZ.com, go to their website, and you will see Kramer going crazy, saying racist things on the stage. He canceled himself by misbehaving. So yes, we have freedom of speech, we have freedom of expression, but we don't have freedom of consequences. So let's keep that in mind. We have to think about the consequences. Yes, so enjoy your freedom of speech. Enjoy your freedom of expression. Do enjoy those things, but remember that just because we're born in America does not mean that we have the right to have the perfect day. Now, let me explain that. Some people think that they should not be offended at all. Some people go out in the world and say, yeah, I shouldn't be offended. And some people in Canada and also in Western Europe have this similar ideas that some of us Americans have. I have the right to not be offended. I have the right to not be offended. If you say something that I don't like, then I'm going to yell at you and say you're a bad person and try to, get you to lose your job and get you to lose, your identity, get you to go away forever, But no, with freedom of speech comes the freedom to be offended. So let's keep that in mind. So yeah, do enjoy your freedoms, but keep in mind that we have to think of the consequences of our freedom. Just keep that in mind. So with that being said, that's basically all I have to say about that. So please enjoy the rest of your day. And until next time, goodbye.